All right, so now we're looking at these definitions that you have likely filled in, either looking at the textbook, looking at the information that was on the front of this sheet, or looking at my keynotes or playing this video. So I have them already filled in here, so you might want to pause to get them filled in if they're not filled in yet, or look at my notes keys, or look at a textbook. So side-by-side bar graph displays the distribution of a categorical variable for each value of another categorical variable. So the important thing with side-by-side bar graphs is that they're side-by-side and that they're connected. So I just want to kind of hold this up a little bit. So we have our side-by-side bar graphs where it's kind of just split up and you can see them both there. Then we have our segmented bar graph displaying the distribution of a categorical variable as segments. So the side-by-side and the segmented bar graphs are really very similar, but side-by-side, they're next to each other. Segmented, they're stacked on top of one another. So notice that all the sizes of the bars from one to the other are the exact same size. It's just segmented, they're stacked on top. Side-by-side, they're next to one another. Mosaic plot, it's a modified segmented bar graph in which the width of each rectangle is proportional to the number of individuals. So a really big downfall or a negative of the segmented bar graph is that it makes it look like this category of yes versus no are the same size. Because we can clearly see the proportions within each of the bar graphs, right? The blue here for never is much larger than the green here for own. But what we can't see is how many people actually answered yes in this category and how many people answered no in this category. And so that's the really nice thing about the mosaic plots, okay, is that you can then see that out of these proportions that said no or said yes, we can see a lot of people said no to this category of environmental club membership. And not nearly as many people said yes to the environmental club membership. So it just gives you a little bit more insight on those numbers to see that it's not proportional in comparison of who said yes to who said no. And so those are each of those definitions. Now we're going to take a look at this example problem underneath. So I am switching between some papers, so give me just a moment. And here's this example problem. We can see most of it. All right, it says a randomized sample of 1,200 U.S. college students were asked, what is your perception of your own body? Do you feel that you are overweight, underweight, or about right? The two-way table summarizes the data on perceived body image by gender. So here's our two-way table. We have gender, female, male, and body image, and then the three categories there. Question A, of the respondents who felt that their body weight was about right, what proportion were female? Part B, of the females respondents, what percent felt their body weight was about right? And then C is wanting you to describe this, and so we're not going to quite get into that yet, but I want you to tackle A and B. So stop the video, see if you can figure out questions A and B. Those ones are a little bit more mathy. If you want to try part C, go for it, but then watch the next video to see the answers to these questions.